Welcome back to Foothills Firewood, guys. My name's Britt, and today we're woodhounding some red oak. Let's get it. All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. So today the story is, I'm actually headed to work right now, but after work, me and a couple of other co-workers are headed over to a co-worker's house who had a massive red oak come down. We threw a rope around it. It is 34.5 inches in diameter, pretty much all the way up. It grew pretty straight, pretty big. It's a little gnarly toward the top, but after work we are gonna head over there with a truck, trailer, a tractor, and some chainsaws, and we are gonna piece this thing up. We are gonna get it in the trailer, we're gonna get it back to my house, and we're gonna get it dumped. So I will check in with you guys whenever I get out of work and I'm on my way there. All right, y'all, we are off work and we're about to head over to where the red oak is. Let's check it out. All right, guys, so I think today I'm going to be using the Echo 620p for the majority of all of this. I've been having some issues with the MS440. I can't quite put my finger on it. Doesn't feel like a carburetor issue. I need to take the spark arrestor out and clean it out. It's running decent. It cranks and idles fine. It seems to rev okay, like have good throttle response, but it just doesn't quite have the power. I don't know if it's just not revving as high as it needs to, but I'm definitely gonna have to do some troubleshooting on that. Lucky for us, this thing is perfect for the job. All right, guys, here we are. This is the base of the tree. This is definitely not gonna do it justice. That's probably a 20 or 22 foot root ball up there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm assuming it'll stand up sooner or later when we get enough weight off of it. But it's a big boy. We got the rest of the gang out here with the dump trailer and the tractor. Okay.
Hey, do we have any wedges? Just be careful, I don't know what it's gonna roll and pop. Yahtzee. anytime you get a log this big in diameter, it looks pretty funny when you cut it thin. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then we have taken the entire top of the tree. This is the second load. If I can get past Vince here, let's see what we got. The second load over there in the dump trailer, and that's where we're at. All right, guys, it is hot out here in North Carolina. I'm gonna pan around so you guys can see what we've got left. We got one little 12-inch cut right there. A buddy of mine who was helping me work here, he left a little earlier. I don't know if you saw him on camera. He wanted a splitting stump, so we got him a little plate there to split on. Everything else is cut to 16, how we like it. Got a couple in the grapple, but the load back there, as you can see, is full. Vince and myself are gonna take and dump this load. We'll get a little bit of footage for that, but unfortunately, we are running out of daylight. We don't need daylight to work, but y'all need daylight to see us, so we'll see what we can get. All right, we've probably got, I don't know, 8 more pieces to get in here. As you can see, we're actually getting to probably some of like the 35, 36 inch stuff. That is my hand. We got room to grow. All right, and then there were 2. And something that I find very interesting and also kind of crappy, because I absolutely cooked my chain. And when I say cooked my chain, I mean 2 links completely gone, or two teeth completely gone, and a bunch of other ones absolutely just demolished. So metal in the tree. But what's interesting about this is this piece of wood, and we also found metal up here. This piece of wood was probably 8 to 10 feet above this piece of wood. So we're talking about metal in the tree 35 feet up. There's at least 18 feet sitting right there. 16 to 18 feet. And there was metal in it another 15 feet above that coming down this log. This is it. we're all done. That's gonna be somebody else's problem on the other side of the busted fence. But this is where she laid, and this is where she's at. Let's walk down here and see what we got. Big shout out to the neighbor that let us go through their backyard here. Really no other way to get that tree out. Guys, we're talking about a hefty load. This is a 16-foot gooseneck. I'm not sure what gauge Stihl is on the floor, but it is heavily plated. My buddy paid extra to get the trailer you could dump into for real. But this is where we're at. He just couldn't leave a single stick behind, dude. No stick left behind. Here comes the cherry on top. Boom, baby. You didn't work all day if you're not loading in the dark. Tight like glove. You got it. You're in. We're out of here, just like that, all in a day's work. All right, y'all, just like that, we put in a cool 8 hours this morning, woke up at 6, and now have just finished our second job, which is the wood hounding. Another right at 8 hours here. It's 10 o'clock and we are all done. Vince just got the tractor loaded up that you guys saw, and he is headed back to the house. Big shout out to Jim, who let us borrow the King Ranch, which probably should have never rode in that. Now I got something to work for. And the 16-foot dumper, could not have done it without that. Thanks to Vince for hooking us up with the tractor, with the grapple. We got it done. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate all the likes, the comments, the subscribes and shares. And until next time, we're out here having fun. Thanks for watching.